Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gypsy Rose Header's Daily Predictions, brought to you today from my metaphysical goblet of fortune. Now, today you will see that I am looking into my goblet and seeing the predictions that I have for you. And I will go in with your star signs, and I will tell you that all Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn today will probably see a glass like this somewhere. Maybe you have it in your home. Be careful, you will pick it up and then you will put it back down again several times. And for all Librans and Aries and Sagittarius, I also see something to do with glassware. And I also want to say to any Cancerians, Pisceans, or Aquarians today, any Leos, any other star signs I've forgotten, because my mind is so filled with predictions, I can't remember them all. So maybe I'll pop in a Gemini there and just say, everyone today, you will hold a glass. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean clarity? Does it mean you have a drinking problem? Does it mean you just like fancy glassware? Who knows? Only the universe knows the answers to these secrets. Now, I also want to say that anyone today will let me, it's the clouds are coming and they are filling my glass, and they are telling me that everyone today will go to the toilet at some point. There are some out there who may resist it for 5 or 10 minutes, but I'm being told don't cut yourself short. If you need to go to the toilet, you must go. I also have with me today my spirit guide, Zelda. Zelda knows all, sees all, tells all. She's almost my twin. She's psychic. I'm psychic. We're so alike. It's almost as if we're twins. Isn't that right, Zelda? See how she nods in appreciation of the spirit world and all things psychic. You know what, guys? I'm sorry, I can't keep this up any longer. I have tried. I hope you like this map. Pashmina, by the way, it's actually tremendously heavy, and but it's lovely and sparkly, and I do love it. And it's nice to wear, you know, if you're going out somewhere a little bit glam. I do like sparkles. I do like shiny things. Maybe I'm just a little bit of a magpie. I don't know. But, you know, who doesn't like something shiny in their life from time to time? So just get that flick around there so we can all enjoy a little bit of sparkly today. I have to make an apology. You know, the thing is, I actually do believe in spirits, and I do believe in the afterlife. And I do believe that there is more to this than, you know, we die and then that's it. I do think there's more to life than that. And, you know, because it would be such a shame, wouldn't it? Some of us live such amazing, fulfilled lives. And it would be such a shame to think, right, we've come to the end of that now. What's next? You know, I do believe we'll come here time and again, and we've got life lessons to learn. And Lord knows I have many, many, many lessons to learn. No doubt I've still got many incarnations still to have, which is something else I believe in, which is reincarnation. And I'd like to get into that a little bit more deeply for another time. But, you know, the thing is, I do like to share my thoughts on things with you. And this video is predominantly just to share some thoughts and, a few laughs. Even if it just got a snigger or a groan or something. If somebody, even just grinned at it, my work is done. And I've got to tell you, I did say before that I didn't watch Peter's videos. I'm talking about Peter Monn here. But I've honestly got to tell you that I couldn't help it, because, I do sort of like to watch spooky things, very interested in the paranormal, stuff like that, you know that already. But I saw Peter in 2 videos, his own, and then on the Psychic Twins channel. Now, I don't know very much at all about these Psychic Twins. I had to sort of look into them a little bit. And I've honestly got to tell you, I wasn't awfully impressed with what they did with Peter. I honestly think there was an awful lot of cold reading in there. I mean, I do know there are genuine psychics. There's genuine psychics, there's genuine mediums. And, and they are wonderful people, and they do the work of spirit, and they do bring hope and comfort to those in desperate need, those who are grieving. They really do. And I strongly admire them. I don't have their gifts, nowhere near. But sometimes, when I was watching the Psychic Twins, and I thought, these are a team just bouncing off each other, and they're not really giving any specific information as such. I could have taken anything from their reading, and it could quite have happily applied to me. So a lot of the things they were saying to Peter, I was thinking, that can well apply to my situation, and things that have happened to me in the past, and beliefs that I have. And unfortunately, there are, and I am going to call them, no, I'm not saying the Psychic Twins are, but I'm saying that there are charlatans out there, people who will take your money and feed you any old rubbish and make it believable. And there are some people who are past masters at cold reading. They are so convincing. I mean, one of the psychics I have great admiration for is Alison Dubois. I've watched quite a lot of her stuff, and I'm really impressed by what she does. But I've noticed with Alison, she always has an empty page notepad in front of her, and she has a pencil or a pen, and she does a lot of swirling round and round while she's busy connecting with spirit, and she writes the artwork down. What I noticed with the Psychic Twins was I did pay particular attention to the fact that they had notepads in front of them filled with information, but all they did was just kept drawing over the same words all the time, and they kept referring to what was in the notepad. And I was just comparing them to Alison Dubois, and I don't know whether you've watched these videos or not. I strongly suggest that you do. But it just seemed to me that, they could have written these notes at any time. All they've got to do is watch. I mean, they said themselves they're huge fans of Peter. Peter's talked about his mother a lot. He's talked about his friends a lot. It doesn't take rocket science to have them skim through his videos, pick bits up, write it down, and then regurgitate it for him to hear. Now, I'm not saying that is what they did. This is my opinion, my conspiracy, allegedly. This is what I think, because I'm basing it on what I saw and then on what I heard. And the truth is that it is incredibly hard to get a true psychic these days. And this is why I believe in Alison Dubois, because she has been tested. And she's just about as great as you can get. She really is very, very good. Another one is Amy Allen. I'm a big fan of Amy Allen, and she approaches her gift from a very scientific point of view. So I like her very much. And I do believe that she does have a gift, because she's a physical medium. And physical mediums, their gift really wears the body down. And they don't live incredibly long lives because of the amount of work that they do and the amount of energy that goes into it. But getting back to Peter and these two ladies, I mean, I'm sorry, but it was just laughable. You know, I'm not asking for any hate here. I'm certainly not sending any hate. I'm just saying it was laughable. It was, there was parts in it where I just wanted to laugh. And, you know, when they went on about his past lives, and I must admit, there was one point when I was sitting with a member of my family and they were listening, and they said, any minute now, I bet they'll tell him that he's had a life as a Native American. And within a few seconds, one of them said, you've had a life as a Native American. And then another family member sort of chipped in with, oh, I bet he's had a life in ancient Egypt, because everybody has. And lo and behold, he'd had a life in ancient Egypt as well. So do you see where you can sort of look at these things and go, oh, come on, please. You know, this stuff, it gets old, it gets predictable. So, and the thing is, I'm looking at Peter and he's soaking all this up. And I must admit, one of the things that really did make me laugh, and I probably shouldn't have done, but it was just, and I am a human being, you know, I'm allowed my observations. Excuse me. Well, I noticed that when, I think it was the one called Linda, or was it Terry? I can't really tell them apart. They are identical, aren't they? Said, you really could do with cutting out one of your channels. And the look on Peter's face, he looked as if he wanted to cry. You know, it was like, what? And when he went on to explain, it was like losing a friend. Well, his most recent channel, his review channel, he can't have, you know, really become attached to it that quickly, you know, because all he's doing on that is basically eating. And he can do that anytime, can't he? He doesn't have to, you know, tell people what pumpkin stuff's like, and or noodles or whatever it is. So he could quite easily drop that one. But it was just the look of utter devastation on his face when she said you could do with cutting out one of your channels. And, you know, when they were talking about him being a healer and a teacher and all this sort of thing, and, you know, I'm going to apologise now to anybody who's watching who loves Peter, who believes in every single thing that he does. And before anybody comes to me saying, do I have his phone number? Do I know him? Have I spoken to him? The answer to all those things is no, I haven't. But I was a follower for nearly 2 years. Peter only allows you what he wants you to see. You know, he doesn't share everything. He's shown that time and time again when he's been asked questions, when he's been asked to explain himself. And he said, you know, anybody could have reached out to me and I would have answered them. And then he'll turn around and say, but I probably wouldn't have answered them. You know, so for all he appears to be very open and welcoming, he also has a side to him that's very closed down. So he doesn't let everybody in. And you know, I know there's an awful lot of people out there who'll say, well, he's done personal acts of kindness for them. And, you know, that's great and that's wonderful and I'm glad you're happy. But I also remember that Panicked Antics, in one of her videos, mentioned that he'd done an act of kindness for her, and then he went on his vlog and turned it against her. So that to me was a bit like, you know, I've given to you, but I'm taking it back. And I didn't think that was a very nice thing for him to do. So, you know, yes, I am critical of Peter. I'm not saying that, I mean, I did have him on a bit of a pedestal. I'm not saying that I just looked at him blindly all the time. I didn't. But, you know, the thing is that when the proverbial hit the fan, you know, I was left agog like thousands of other people, which is why about 10,000 people left him. And an awful lot of people today still can't stand him. And Peter, I'm afraid it's like the highs with the lows. He has to take that in his stride, you know, like we all do. So that was basically what I wanted to share with you today, were, you know, my thoughts on these psychic ladies and their reading techniques, which I must admit I've seen better. I mean, I must admit, if they'd come out and said to him, you're going to go to the toilet tomorrow, I think I would have wet myself laughing. I really do. And my little skit at the beginning is just a little bit of fun. It's not meant to attack anybody. So please, anybody watching this, please come and look at it with a sense of humour. You know, my last couple of videos have been a little bit heavy. And today I just wanted to sort of relax things a little bit, have a little bit of fun. And it is a parody. And it's gentle joking. It's not an attack. It's just me voicing my thoughts, my opinions, my observations. And, you know, I'm sorry if you don't like it, but I am allowed to have my own opinions. You know, it's called freedom of speech. And I'm sure if Peter was watching this, which I very much doubt, because I'm so tiny, he wouldn't even notice me. You know, I'm just going to say to him, Peter, you know, I'm glad you enjoyed your reading. I hope it brought you comfort. It wasn't for me. And I hope you can just see the funny side of things. Because, you know, you've laughed and joked at people at their expense in the past and thought nothing of it. So hopefully you'll accord me the same courtesy, you know, and anybody else. Nobody can sit here and say that they've never even gently poked fun at a friend or a family member or something like that. We've all done it, you know. So anyway, my final thing that I wanted to say to you today was I would like to shout out my friend Tay of Slaydell Val. She is an absolutely beautiful young woman. She does the most amazing makeup on herself. She's got some fantastic wigs. Honestly, I wish I could wear a wig the way that she does. Please go and check out her channel. She talks to you while she's busy putting her makeup on. She'll give you a few hints and tips. But she's an all-round, genuinely lovely girl. So please go and say hello to my friend Tay. And just say, Hedda says love you and take care. So, it's Friday. It's nearly the weekend. So I'm going to say, let's keep that sense of humour going. Let's just remember that sometimes it's good to laugh. Because life's so short, but it can be so serious. So let's just have a few smiles, a few giggles along the way. Hey, what do you say? Anyway, you all take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.